is
Hey,
Vinny.
dude, are you there?
Hey, what's
Yeah,
up,
I'm
my
here,
brother?
man.
How are you,
Dude, I
man?
don't have a scary story, man.
I was like, I'm gonna have pretty much a heart attack. I'm like having a heart attack, but I can't scream or anything. Basically, laying on the floor, panicking.
Oh,
No, you weren't. You weren't.
oh,
You built the place. I haven't seen the Hopi in thousands of years. Don't make fun of my people. Period.
sorry,
I'll come
grandfather.
after your ass and cut you up into little bitty bits.
Facebook page down because people said Richie from Boston's gay. He's gay. I'm gay. I'm a gay man.
And I mean, yeah, I mean, you can prosecute me for that if you'd like.
No, it's not why I'm doing that. I'm just
Well,
saying there's a lot
But
of...
that is what you did.
Bigelow started buying websites, including one in British Columbia, Canada. So all of a sudden, this kind of triggered Brian Vike.
Welcome back to Third Phase of the Moon. Blake Cousins here. We've got a special report for you. We've got a few UFO videos that we want to share with you.
Welcome back, everybody. Blake Cousins, along with Orlando Smith and Brent Cousins, we're going to be going over incredible imagery.
Third phase of the moon. Third phase of the moon.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
You were either in or you were either out, brother.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah.
Hey, all right. Welcome to GUFON, everybody. I'm your host, Rich Giordano. It is Tuesday, July 9th, 2024, the year of the... I hope you had a great day today. Yes, it's 8:08 behind us. Oh, that's weird. Oh, that's the chair and hitting it. Okay, I see what's going on. Yeah, I still have to move that clock all the way over to this side, but I don't have an extension cord that reaches all the way over there. Anyway, the power was out, and it went out when I was sleeping, and I woke up, and it was really warm. And you know when you wake up and there's that strange silence, like, hey. Usually I hear the refrigerator. Usually that light is on. Usually the electricity. And then I was like, all right, let me check out what's going on. It says, power outage today, 20,000 without power in a city with only 60,000. So from what I found out just recently, it was a lightning had... I guess they're doing they're expanding the grid, and I guess it hit in the construction area or something, and it caused a huge outage. But just about an hour before the show, I was thinking, all right, maybe I'll do the show. The power came on, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't have anything to do. What can I do tonight? I had nothing. And it was 7. And I'm like, I could put a show up in 5 minutes. But luckily, I had an idea. And I said, I know what we'll do tonight. I know what we'll do tonight. We'll talk about the shit. And that's it. Because it's all crap. Everything. Where's the evidence that we have any technology from Roswell? Where's that alien technology? What, Kevlar? Lasers? Come on. We had that stuff anyway. It was already in the makings. Lasers were already being used, tested. Come on. We've got nothing. What? You know when the touchscreen phone came out? The smartphone? I said, there's your alien technology. I mean, it's amazing, right? It really is. I don't understand how it works. I really don't. I got a nice app. It's the, oh, you can't even see your sister's hemoglobin. Let's see if it shows. Yeah. And it's amazing. You now put your fingerprint and/or face. Now, I'm not sure if that's alien technology, but it's pretty cool. And that's the coolest things we have. That's it. Other than, and I'm not impressed, self-driving cars. I am impressed, but I'm not impressed. Did you ever see those cars go psycho? Oh my God. We should do a show on psycho Teslas. They start driving erratically. And they get aggressive. With people walk by, the car will jump at you like it's a dog, like it's alive. Like, you know? You walk by and you hear meep, meep. You know, and you're like, whoa, Tessie, hey. I didn't know. It's a crosswalk, Tessie. You know? Teslas they're fighting back already. It's the beginning of the AI wars. Tesla started it all, and it's Elon Musk's fault. Musk's? Anyway, I didn't come here to tell you that. Where are we? I'm in a weird, very hungry mood. I woke up, and of course I didn't eat all day. And I forgot to drink my meal and eat. Now I'm hungry. Now an hour after I wake up or two, that's when I get hungry. I'm not hungry right when I wake up. I mean, I'm hungry, but I can't eat. And I know a lot of you fall into the same vein as that. That's why breakfast is the #1 skipped meal of the day. Anybody want to know what the second skipped meal of the day is? No, it's dinner. I know. You'd think it would be lunch, but here's why it isn't. You skip breakfast, you're starving for lunch. Most people eat lunch. It's weird, right? Who's here? Paula Faust. Welcome to the show. Tacey Hale, everybody. Welcome to the show. Venus Miranda. What do you say, lady? Welcome to the show. I like Venus. Venus is good people. FAP, welcome to the show. What do you say there, Chief? Stephen A, everybody. Welcome to the show, Stephen. Mr. A. You got my Stephen A, FAP, Marcel, and especially Moody Mongol. Even Bernie. Every one of you guys have my type of humor. I get it. Sometimes I'll read back these chat rooms and I'll, see what you guys were talking about because I never pay attention. And I'm like, that is the funniest thing I've ever seen. I think I should do a show just on chat rooms too. Maybe we'll do a member show just on chat. What do we call it? Chat. Well, anyway, it's funny. You guys are funny. Samo, welcome to the show. What do you say there, mister? Is it? Could it? It is Marco and Star Butterfly. Thank you for hanging out. Hey, you got the memo. The memo went out late, too. Kelly Lewis. Hey, Kelly. How are you? The EW is here. Excuse me. Yeah, it's starting to get annoying for me, too. Sorry. One of my favorite people. One of the best names ever. Rusty Grunerd, everybody. What do you say, man? Welcome to the show. And there he is. David Wilcox, not Wilcox. How you doing, sir? Welcome to the show. All right. Because we started late. You know. Hey, Zach Diecast Mount. How you doing, Chief? I think I've been doing that for 4 years. Thor Panku. Sneaking in there. What do you say there, Chief? You guys are smart. You're smart. You come, yeah. You just, the first 10 minutes of the show. It's like, the show really starts at 8:15, 7:15. It's good. It's smart. I would do the same thing. Brian Yates. All right. Welcome to the show, B. So if I didn't say your name doesn't mean I don't love you. It means we got a lot of show to do. And we're going to do a full show. Just because we started late doesn't mean you get negate. Huh? Yeah, no. Well, I am right after the show. We go to the gym, which is right here. Right? So the show ends about. All right, let's just go. You don't need to know. All right, it'll save time. You don't need to know my schedule. So I have a lot of things I want to show you tonight. And because of the short amount of time, I literally, it's a strange situation I was put in by falling asleep and not getting the show. Usually I post the shows between 5 a.m. and noon. So if a show is not posted in that bracket, something's wrong. All right. So as always, I like to start you off with what I call, what do we call it? What do I call it? I start you off with to wet your palate. Hold on, I'm so sorry for this. I'm very, very bad today. Ah, that is good cough. Okay. Yep. Ripping off the disclosure Band-Aid. David Grusch says, I ruined my career doing this. All right. This is a great story. So, he said there's a lot of complex stuff that happens behind the scenes you guys don't know about. Oh. Well, I'm going to say this, and I hope he watches, because I heard David Grusch loves GUFON. Yeah, because of all the technical stuff. I want to let him know. David, this is your own fault as an adult. No. I know you want to automatically say, how's it my fault? You knew coming into this field. You had to have known, right? Didn't all your friends tell you what the UFO community is like? Or did they just say, those things behind the scenes that we don't know about? That you listened in to conversations and you saw documents and people brought you interesting things to look at. And, ooh, the conspiracy bug got you. You didn't hear the warnings. You didn't at all care. You were tunnel vision. That's what they called him. Tunnel vision man. David Grusch was the T-man. TV man, tunnel vision, TV DG, tunnel vision, David Grusch. It's a mush. That's what I think happened. So if he has all these friends in the field, don't you think they would tell him, hey, man, don't go out and talk to people because they're evil and they're going to say stuff. They're going to find out where you live. You know, all this stuff. You do the whistleblow, bro. Your whole life's going to be exposed. Maybe not immediately. Oh, but people are going to dig. Oh, they dig. They do. They dig. I'm sorry, Lou. Anybody who got into this field that is the mainstream crybabies now. Hey, my life's ruined. You thought being a whistleblower was going to be, and here's the award for the whistleblower of the year, David Grusch. Hey! You thought it was going to be, I don't know, a love fest? I mean, what did you really think was going to happen? This is, everybody, you know what these people are, don't you? These are the best of the best of the best. This is our military. These are people who work in our military. And they can't handle being called out. They can't handle name calling. People are so mean. You know? It's like, you knew you had to have known. It's not new. The internet's been up and running for a good minute. And everything in this field gets scrutinized down to your soul. Everything you are about will be exposed if they can find it. You think you're going to come in here and just go aliens and everything and the government and now we need disclosure. And then everything's just going to be, you know, smooth sailing. You didn't think there would be any repercussions, any fake enemies, fake friends, real friends. They're everywhere, bro. How would you not know this? And especially Lou, Mr. Counterintelligence guy. I didn't even want to do this shit, and they forced me into it. Now, I wonder if they wore a glove when they forced you, Lou. These guys, they're whining. It's falling on deaf ears. If you didn't know this was going to happen, whistleblowing, anything. Look what happened to all the other whistleblowers in history. They're either in jail, dead, or they vanish from history. The real good ones, not you. You're a hearsay whistleblower. I'm surprised you still even have a relevance in this field. In the November 21, 2023 interview with Joe Rogan, David Grusch explained why the disclosure process can't be rushed and points out that there are a lot of ramifications if the Band-Aid is, quickly ripped off. He says there's a lot of complex stuff behind the scenes that need to happen. David Grusch also says that he shouldn't be the one disclosing this information and that he ruined his career going public because he wanted to see change and told the U.S. government and hold the U.S. government accountable and wants them to do the right thing. Oh. I mean, I appreciate it. I do. I appreciate the effort. But hearsay? You went at the government with hearsay? Where are David Grusch's friends? They're not his friends. They would have told him not to do it. They would have made him not do it. They would have locked him in a box and said, no, no, no. Not until you change your thought process. We're not letting you ruin your life like ours have. Grusch admits that he needs to be careful with what he says publicly and that this is not a fun situation for him because there could be some unforeseen collateral damage if he reveals too much. You didn't reveal anything we didn't know. We knew. We knew. Oh, you saw some documents. You heard some things. So did we. Have you ever heard John Greenwald Jr.? Yeah, he's got a lot of FOIA documents showing what, a lot more than what you gave us. The non-human intelligent pilots and those carefully worded shit. So not too careful to say alien. Just say it. Just say it. Pilots. That's pretty broad. That could be an ant, with some sort of brain contraption to make it smart. Yes, those are the ant people, Rich. Oh, you mother. I know, I forgot. If you want to help support GUFON, Truthology for Ufology, if you believe in it, if you believe in us, please help support. All the links are in the show description. And unlike TTSA, when they said nothing under $50, we take all denominations. Remember that when TTSA said we will take your money, but nothing under 50, please. We don't quabble with $2, $5. Don't you think they would have got like another mill from the people with $1 or $2 to give? I mean, I would have even given if I would have believed, but All right, Grusch, say what you got to say here. Let's listen to this.
Realize the phenomenon's real. Then you realize we've recovered artifacts and, biologics or, dead pilots, if you will, even though it's, kind of creepy to even think about that in your worldview. You don't think they were ever, alive sometimes too, right?
Hey, with that being said, isn't it weird that Jaime Maussan may have the pilots? Can you imagine if those are the pilots? Well, we found them in dirt, I tell you. They were so important, they were buried in dirt, I tell you. Yeah.
And I'll leave it at that only because that is something, the president and his cabinet need to disclose this in a controlled manner, going back to that amendment. I'm not here to, push the subject in an improper way. And that sounds like, why don't you just do it, Dave? I'm like, there's a lot of secondary and tertiary ramifications, socioeconomically, theologically, our relationship geopolitically with our allies and adversaries.
All right, hold on. Okay. He basically said, from what he's seen, there's aliens and their craft. And what else more can he say? He said it all. What else can this guy say? He did it. He told the world, I am in the government. I know for a fact there's aliens and we have their craft. And what happened the day after? Nothing. Nobody cared. You want to know why? Hearsay. I'm telling you, that hearsay will kill a whistleblower faster than you can say whistle. See? It's amazing to me that the next day after he went public, even after the congressional hearing, nothing. Nobody gave a Nobody cared. Everybody said the same thing. It's whistleblower.
Rip off the Band-Aid, and it's simple. There's a lot of complex stuff behind the scenes that need to happen, and that's why I'm laying out all the general stuff that needs to be talked about during the disclosure.
Let me tell you, what he's talking about, a lot of stuff has to happen behind the scenes. When the government is ready for disclosure, all that stuff will be out. See, they have to decompartmentalize everything. Get it all together. And I guess each compartment that worked on this stuff will have to get together, right? Because isn't it a fact that even though we have these craft, different scientists work on some things that they don't even know what it is? And then another guy's working on the same thing somewhere else, maybe just a different part. You know, maybe he's working on the control panel or whatever they think it is, and another guy's working on the seats. I don't know. I'm just saying. And they don't know what it is. They don't know that it all goes together. They don't even know each other. Let's just put it that way. That guy, Ken and Mike, don't even know each other, and they're working on the same stuff. For all this stuff to come together for disclosure, all these people are going to have to get together and explain what the hell they were working on, right? I guess, but if you have the ship and you have the alien body, Ken and Mike have nothing to do with anything anymore. You just show the stuff, right? That's it. Just show the stuff. But you can't show the stuff without explaining it. And who can explain it better? Ken and Mike. And David Grusch. You know, because he heard things. You see how silly that sounds now? You need Ken and Mike to explain how the UFO works. And David Grusch is telling us all about what Ken and Mike know. Because he heard through the grapevine that there's a non-human intelligence. I mean, I've been hearing those stories too. You know, since David Grusch was 16, I started in this field. Since he was 16, he was still sucking on his mother's and father's teats. David Grusch, you know that's you. All right, that was uncalled for. All right, let's finish Grusch off here. The
process, but I should not be the one disclosing, and it would be highly inappropriate because I care about the health of the United States and its people. And
what he's talking about is, what if we rip the Band-Aid off? He says you rip the Band-Aid off and you're exposing a lot of underlayers that need explaining. That makes sense. That's what I was just explaining. That's what needs to happen. Everybody needs to get their story straight. If the government's going to go global and expose this, not only do they need to talk to each other and get their stories right, but you have to get it right with all the other countries and explain to them, if you haven't, why you have this magic technology. And then they're going to want to see it, and you're going to say no, and then they're going to say, well, you just said it's for the world. Yeah, but we're not letting you see it up close. Well, that's not fair. Hey, Russia, yeah? Did you hear what the United States is doing? Oh, no, they can't do it. How do they sound in Russia again? I forget. Sounded like Jaime Maussan picked up the phone. Hey, you say Putin? No, it's not. It's Jaime. I know, you stupid. You called me instead. What's up? Did you hear what's going on in America? I know. They did the same thing to my doomies. Okay, finish it off, David.
National security for me to do so. So I know there's people that are like, oh, why doesn't Dave say X, Y, and Z? It's like, this is serious. This is not like, haha, let me tell you a good story. I'm a serious guy. I ruined my fucking career doing this. I was going to make lieutenant colonel in the Air Force this winter. I was on track to be, a flag officer equivalent civilian in my career. I spent 18 years in uniform, if you count the cadet time, right? My whole adult life was serving as an intel officer. But I wanted to see, and I'm 36, right? Older millennial. I wanted to see change, so I'm throwing the flag out, and I'm here to hold the government accountable to do the right thing in a manner that is mature and thorough, because I don't begin to say that I know everything all.
Oh, wow. I don't like that. Do you see what he did? You see what he said? He called us immature. Yeah. That's not what he did, Rich. No, that's exactly what he said. I am doing this in a mature manner. Well, he just means, we'll do it officially and, and everything will be documented. That's what well, he should have said that. But he didn't. In David Grusch's mind, marching in the streets, demanding the government turns over the Roswell stuff, that's not mature. That's not mature. No, I don't like that he said that. I think that was very irresponsible for him to say that. He could have said it in a very diplomatic way, in a very legal way, in a very proper legal diplomatic way, but he didn't. He chose the word mature, which means UFO community, immature. People in ufology, immature. That's exactly what he means. Come on. Rusty Grunert with a $10 super dono. It's a beautiful day here at GUFON when the love starts pouring in. Thank you, Rusty G. RUNERT with a $10 super dono. Brother, thank you very much. I want to check on something. I have noticed that every super chat that has come in has been a super dono, and I'm not sure if that's accurate. I think I'm getting the messages. Nope, it is. It's a super dono. Oh, well, thank you very much, Rusty. I wasn't doubting at all, but I was doubting that the message wasn't being transferred over to me on the new platform. Capiche? Because it happens. All right, let me get rid of my message in there on top. Thanks, Rusty. You've been a continuing supporter since we known you, and mostly appreciated it all. And we appreciate it, man. Thanks again. I always try to come out with something funny and new for each one. Thank you very much. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm just right to the point. Go.
All the different ramifications of saying certain things publicly. I don't know all the answers to that. And that's why I have to be careful, because I don't even know, I'll call it, collateral damage effects, to use kind of a military term, what may happen if certain things in detail that are revealed that I might not know the ramifications thereof, because there's something that I'm not privy to. So this is like this is not like a fun situation. This is like humanity changing, hopefully in a good way, but this is like,
okay, that's good enough. So this is what I don't like. So he goes on Joe Rogan and talks about how risky it is for him to do all this. So I guess he knows, or he knew, but you can't come out a year later and start bitching and complaining. That people are threatening me and then they're all doing it. They're all doing it. Elizondo said it. Gary Nolan said it. I'm not sure if Christopher Mellon said it. But everybody, and I even think Brandon Fugel said that threats are, and it's unfortunate in this field. Yeah, but when you're a dick and a liar in the UFO community, maybe where you live in Utah and all that stuff and doing what you do and, being a philanthropist, I guess. Why don't you do that for the UFO community? Huh? Why don't they do that for the UFO community? Why don't Brandon Fugel just, he's a billionaire now. He can afford it. If I had $1 billion in assets, I would take maybe 100 mil, and throw it towards the best in the business and give it a one-time chance. $100 million, I'll support ufology. 5 years on 100 mil, 20 mil to get the best sky watchers, the best scientists. None of these guys. I pick them. I'll research it. I don't want any biased this or that or, well, I like what they were. No. I need you to do this. Do it this way and I'll pay you this much. Okay. See where I'm going with that? That's how it should be done. Should be. But it's not. Thank you, David Grusch, for all you've done and undone. Oh, I may have been a little harsh, but this next video I'm going to show you really makes me sad. Makes me really sad. Let me just show you. It's a sighting. But this is what our world has come to. And let me, before I show you this supposed Tic Tac video, legitimate Tic Tac has never been officially recorded over land. Everything we have seen, any videos claiming Tic Tac sightings, have been airplanes out of focus, airplanes at an angle and reflection and the time of day, and a whole bunch of variables making the wings look like they're not there, are being deemed as UFOs or Tic Tacs. A lot of people have been making that mistake for, well, as long as I can remember. And it still goes on to this day. Now, when I show you this video, you're going to immediately say, oh yeah, I see a Tic Tac. But look at it closely and look at the paint job on this thing and just understand that when you're just a shade out of focus and the sun is reflecting very brightly off the side of the airplane and you're at the right angle to where you can't see the other wing on the other side, you just see one side facing, and you don't see the tail because you're just a little bit out of focus. Well, you get this. Where is it? Oh, here it is. I was like, I had it ready and it undid. Go. By the way, you could even hear the airplane as it goes by. Yeah, that's an airplane, kids. Where's the tail? It's out of focus. I know, you don't believe it. But I'm telling you, it's an airplane. You can actually see the wing right here. Hold on, let me get me a little smaller. Can I be small? There we go. Put me on the other side. There we go. Right? Rich, but where's the tail? It's out of focus. Look, out of focus, out of focus. Tail? What do you mean? It's right here. You can see it, can't you? It's out of focus. And that's it. And sometimes I even think you can see, there it is. There's the tail. Right there. It's a little nubbin. And it's there. It's there. I know. It's amazing, isn't it? You can see it coming in and out. Right there. It's popping. And there's the wing. There, it appeared. Watch this. See? Watch this. I'm going to go back and forth. So you'll see it appear and disappear. See? See? Yes. It's pixelated. It's out of focus. It's everything. And you could even hear it. Turn up the volume. I'll be quiet. Take a listen. the music's nice, right? Covers a lot of it, but when the music pauses, you can hear the airplane in this part. Isn't that funny? You can hear it. So, airplane, it's not a hoax. It's a misidentification with intent. And that, my friends, falls under the hoax banner. Banner? So, sad. People are still not getting it. See, I think they get it. I think that person knew it was an airplane, but on my camera, it looked something else, so I'm going to put it online and see what people think. And that is one of the best examples of being just slightly out of focus with the right amount of sun and bright paint and bright reflection off the paint is what I meant to say. I'm going to keep that there. I want to save that for another thing I'm working on. So we'll put that there. Oh. See, you do learn stuff here. Did I miss another was Metalhead became a member again, I think I saw. Thank you, Metalhead. Appreciate that. It didn't show up, but I heard it. But I don't see it on my end. But yeah, man, thank you for being a member again. There it is. For 9 months. Oh, whistleblowers are part of the plan to distract ufology. Yes. You know what it is? It's like, and Dawn Dickinson. Okay, I see some things. That didn't show up on my end, Dawn. I'll get to you in a sec. I'm so sorry. Yeah, whistleblowers? Yeah, why not? You know what whistleblowers remind me of? Evidence. It's like when they come out with, somebody comes out with UFO evidence, like Corbell or one of those goons. And, you know, you can debunk it right away. And it's in the same exact vein. It's a disinfo. See, David Grusch should have never, ever been on that, on the stand at all. He shouldn't have. I think it did more harm to ufology putting him up there than good. And the reason is he's hearsay. He's not even firsthand. People were so mad when they found out. Wait, what? Because I would talk to people and they'd be like, oh, yeah. Oh, hey, you're still doing the UFO thing. And I'm like, yeah. Oh, that guy came out and did the congressional thing. That was pretty cool. I said, kinda. What do you mean? I said, well, he doesn't have a first-hand account. He heard stuff. He heard stories and read documents that could have been altered and faked and who knows what. But, yeah, we never saw any of his evidence. Nothing. He just heard things. Really? Nah. And I'm like, yeah, I wish I can get excited along with you. But he was a hearsay guy. Not even, usually whistleblowers are first-hand account, like, I saw with my own eyes the UFOs, or I saw the document being signed by General Grant. Whoever. Grant, holy crap. What year is it? 1792. All right. Anyway, you guys know. You guys all know. Everybody knows. All right. Let's see. I was going to play this video. Oh, yeah, because, you know, Nick Pope. Now they say, instead of putting the year that Nick Pope worked for the British Ministry of Defense, now they just say, yeah, former British MOD, UFO investigator. Do you know he only investigated a couple of things ever? Oh, that does make him a UFO investigator. Barely. Barely. He was in, all he did was organize files and make sure everything was done correctly and all the T's were crossed and the I's were dotted, and right? He was more or less a secretary of the MOD, of the ALINs. Right? Well, he was asked by his friends at News Nation if disclosure would send all of us into a panic. This is the new thing. This is the hot button right now, in case you haven't noticed. Are we all going to lose our minds? Yes. Yes. No. And I could say something right now that, but I can't. But I'm telling you, there will be looting. Anything to loot. Well, it was aliens. You could understand the kids. I mean, you gotta let them have their TVs and phones. They gotta have those phones. If anybody did that while I was president, there would be no more phones. Well, that was horrible. My Trump's gotten worse. Nick Pope, where is he? So do we go nuts? This is the new hot button. Nick Pope is the expert. So hold on to your breath, everybody. The expert is here to tell us, will we go crazy if disclosure was made hazy? Go ahead, Nick.
That scientists and academics are having this conversation is so refreshing. A few years ago...
I'm sorry. It's so refreshing? It's refreshing? They've been talking... All right, I'm just going to play. I'll shut up.
This would have been inconceivable. Now it's out in the open, and as you said at the beginning of the piece, you know, this is total vindication for people who for years were languishing in the fringe, thinking this was all conspiracy theory. Now we're having hearings in Congress, and now, as we see with this paper, scientists and academics are daring to ask this what-if question.
Yeah, and I want to ask you, because the last time we had you on the show, a bunch of viewers had this question for you. I mean, you were long the man who investigated UFOs and other phenomenon for the British government. In all of your time doing that, and all the evidence that you've seen, what was most compelling to you? What scientifically did you feel, wow, there really is something here that I cannot explain?
It's the sightings from military pilots where we simultaneously have radar data, forward-looking infrared camera films of these taken from the jets, and sometimes satellite data as well, although, of course, a lot of that is still classified. So there's more still to be released, and I hope it will be forthcoming over the next few months.
Yeah, how do you balance that? Do you think that that we have a right, that the public has a right to all of this information, or would it send all of us into a panic if we truly knew everything that you know and others know?
It might. There's always a balancing act, as you say. You know, on the one side, there is the panic question and the point that we don't want to say anything that would give adversaries an advantage. But at the end of the day, I think the people do have a right to know. This is the greatest mystery of our time, and it's about time we got this out in the open.
I'm not sure. What did he say? He didn't answer.
Have radar data, forward-looking infrared camera films of these taken from the jets, and sometimes satellite data as well, although, of course, a lot of that is still classified. So there's more still to be released, and I hope it will be forthcoming over the next few months.
Yeah, how do you balance that? Do you think that that we have a right, that the public has a right to all of this information, or would it send all of us into a panic if we truly knew everything that you know and others know?
It might. There's always a balancing act, as you say. You know, on the one side, there is the panic question and the point that we don't want to say anything that would give adversaries an advantage. But at the end of the day, I think the people do have a right to know. This is the greatest mystery of our time, and it's about time we got this out in the open. But I think
I knew he didn't answer the question. You know what he said? When she asked him? 2 words. It might. And then he went on. Oh my God, he just skipped right over it. What? This is why Nick Pope sucks. Dawn Dickinson. I almost forgot. Thank you very much for the 99 or dollar. We round up here. It's a $1 super dono. Dawn Dickinson. Thank you for your continuing support as well. And let me switch me off here. Thank you very much. Appreciate the support. Continuing supporter now. Listen.
And how do you balance that? Do you think that that we have a right, that the public has a right to all of this information, or would it send all of us into a panic if we truly knew everything that you know and others know?
It might. There's always a.
That's it. It might. Or it might not. And then he said there's always a balance of what?
Balancing act, as you say. You know, on the one side, there is the panic question and the point that we don't want to say anything that would give adversaries an advantage. But at the end of the day, I think the people do have a right to know. This is the...
Terrible. Terrible. We want us... If we to say anything to the public, it might. We don't want to say too much to the public because if it gets out and China hears about something, oh, what did they say? Disco? Disco? What was disco? What are they gonna deduce from hearing us say we have a disc? Oi! Oi! I love doing that. That's the only words I know. Very strong word. I don't know what it means. I think it means no or I. Maybe it has the same meaning. I don't know. David Wilcox throwing it down in 20 spot on PayPal. And that's a lot. Thanks, man. Hey, I didn't hear it go off, so I thought maybe it went off and I didn't hear it, and I'm glad I checked. Sorry it took me a minute. But thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate that, man. A continuing supporter of GUFON. David Wilcox, not Wilcox, on the PayPal of all places. I know, you always do it there. Thanks, man. It's another day that keeps GUFON alive. Well, that was Nick Pope doing what he does. Sidestepping, barely touching the answer. Why can't he say it? It's a nice balancing act between the public going crazy and not giving too much that our adversaries will figure it out and come up with all this technology overnight. It's so stupid how people think. We can't give away too much to the public because China and Russia are going to build them. Oh my God. Why are they so stupid? Because you know why? Because that's what they think of you. You. That's what Nick Pope thinks. You're that stupid. You can't figure out what he just did. He sidestepped it. You think that the people will go crazy and there'll be panic? It might, but there's got to be a balancing act. It's got to be, because if you tell the public and they're happy, but you don't want to say too much, or China's going to build them and they're going to come and invade us. See, that's how they think. They always think that way. It's their go-to. Any government op. The Nick Pope's been working for the MOD. He's never freaking quit. He's still getting paid a little hush money under the table to be a disinfo dick. He's a disinfo dick. He's a DID. Yeah. See? Another angel got its wings. Or was it Lucifer? It was a bottle of water? Ah. Dorothy Hawkins. $2.22. Toot on PayPal. I can't believe you did it. I love PayPal. Thank you very much for that, Dorothy. I know. Hey. I know you did it. I know it's just for me. But you know what? It's actually for all of us. Every little bit helps. And you know what? It does. It does. Oh, yeah. Dorothy, you're so nice. If everybody who has an X account, Dorothy, you can find her if you really want to say nice things. How could you not? Dorothy's Ditdot. DITDOT. Is it 55? I forget. I haven't said it in a while. Well, you'll see it. Thanks, Dorothy. Dorothy Hawkins, everybody. I'm so weird. All right. Nick Pope. That's it. It's enough, Nick. Again, I don't know. I have a lot of stuff to show you. Here we go. Oh. Oh, come on. All right. Well, you guys know who Timothy Good is? He says there's an alien force behind the cover up. Did you know that? Wasn't it Timothy Good who said that? Eric Davis once stated the release of the information is driven strictly by the UFO phenomenon itself. And that kind of makes sense. Every time there's a really big sighting, that's over a city or something, it gets worldwide attention on the internet, that's for sure. It may not be on your local news, but it may show up on cable news, but it definitely is going to be on the internet. And there are some sightings I'm going to show you tonight, which shouldn't even be on TV or the news or the internet. But I want to hear this comment, this couple of minutes from, I don't know. It says Timothy Good. I don't know. Is that him? I don't remember him looking like this.
Do you think that we call it the cover-up, do you think that's actually perpetrated by an alien force then? Or do you think that's purely human beings?
That's a very good question, but I myself think, well, the two things I'd like to say about that is that, first of all, from what I've gathered, many of the aliens don't want us to know what they are doing here. And that's kind of understandable, and they could take retaliatory action if, say, those few people in the United States government wanted to start talking. And it's quite possible they've done that already. So it's not in their best interest.
Wait a second. It's possible the aliens have already smacked some people around for talking? That's what he just said.
And that's kind of understandable, and they could take retaliatory action if, say, those few people in the United States government wanted to start talking.
So when David Grusch got approval to do what he did in the Congress and on News Nation and all that? He got approval from the aliens? Is that it? And is that what he's talking about? You know, those few people over there in the US of A. You know, the few people talking. Doesn't give any names. You know, those people over there in the USA, if they're not careful, they're going to get their arms and legs ripped off. There'll be a talking torso and a bottle of water.
And it's quite possible they've done that already.
To who? To who? Who? Not Grusch, not Elizondo, not Ryan Graves, not David Fravor, not Alex Dietrich. Who? What, Phil Schneider back in the 90s? That was 35 years ago. Let's stay current, Chief. Who got retaliated against that has spoken up for UFOs in the government and been a whistleblower of any kind in the last 30 years? Go. Nobody. Nobody. This guy needs to do some more research. Unless I'm wrong. Am I wrong? Exactly. Oh, what a great comment. So aliens are so powerful that they have to hide behind the scenes? I know. No, they have to. You know why? Because they control everything. Yeah. They control it all. And if you talk too much and you reveal that they really do run everything. Well, what if it is true? Wait a second, Venus. What if we're both wrong? What if they have to hide behind the scenes? You can't have them in front, right? Oh, yeah. The whole story, it's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, I get that. But is it? Is it? Art, and I don't mean Art Bell, art sometimes imitates life to perfection. Star Trek was unbelievably far advanced. I don't know how they came up, sliding doors and all that, I get. But the monitors on the walls, the recorder in the hand, and the all-in-one thing, Spock, we gotta go. Beam me up. And then they got the thing, they can check your heart rate and all that, and they just, oh, his blood pressure is way too high. We got to get him in a coma, Jim, And then they have the medication, and then they get, it's got the, it works. Oh, I feel so alive and refreshed. All that and much more 500 years from now. Or now, I don't want to freak people out. Remember how the whole show would take a 180 right here. But what if we're what if we really are living in a matrix reality? We're not here. We're encased somewhere, and they're literally growing us in a farm. There's 8 billion of us. Maybe there's 100 billion. Maybe there's 1 trillion. And there's many different programs running. Why do you think we can't go past the ice wall? Why won't they let us? It's too dangerous. It'll cost a lot of money to get you if you die out there. You see, if you die, there's no rush to save us. We want to make sure nobody goes out there alone. Can we come with you? Yeah. How about when Richard Byrd flew over the Antarctic and saw lush green mountain ways with waterfalls and running streams? dinosaurs. No, he didn't see dinosaurs, but pterodactyl. Yeah, he saw pterodactyl. Yeah, no, he didn't see pterodactyl, but he could have. And then the guy comes back after his expedition, goes on TV, and tells the world, oh, by the way, beyond the Arctic, there's all this land. Well, he spoke with an American accent. And then they killed him. No, they didn't kill him. But what if? And let me explain this while we're on the same vein of thought in the Matrix. It makes sense that we see things that disappear. It makes sense that we see things go like this. Bing, 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 bing. It makes sense that we can't explain any of it and we don't know where it comes from. That to me sounds like a program that's purposely letting us see things by accident. Well, no, that makes no sense. We're seeing things by accident through them existing. You know what I mean? It's like we see their fingerprint, but we just don't know where it goes. When we see an apparition go by, that was the program from before. And it's just running in a loop for some reason. We don't know why. Maybe it's just glitching out for a minute and we're seeing images from a previous program. The paranormal, it's everywhere if you know how to find it. It really is. It's all over. Why? Because the whole entire shebang is a freaking program. We don't exist anywhere but in our minds and in the program. We exist as a capsule for science, for study, for research. We live in our minds. We're imprisoned in our minds. Why do you think they call it a soul? Why do you think the brain and the heart start at the same time? It's a program. They flick the switch. The light at the end of the tunnel, it's energizing down, energy going away. You'll be back. Oh, when this program ends, you'll be injected into a new program. What is that called? Reincarnation. Is it? Well, I don't remember any of my past. Of course you don't. They've removed it. That's why you don't remember much in the first 2 years of your life, because it takes that long to remove all the shit before you can start accepting new things. They got to clear data. You got to clean the queue, kids. Got to clean the queue. That's why you see some things that don't make sense, because it's embedded inside of your computerized noggin. I don't know where this is coming from, but it makes sense to me. That's all I know. I don't know. It makes sense to me. The whole entire existence seems weird to me. We can look out into the stars, into the heavens, but we can't go there. What kind of messed up bullshit is that? You're going to show me the most beautiful thing and I can't go there? Why? Because it's not real. It's a program. That's why everything's so far away. They make it impossible for you to get there. Don't you get it? And then by the time your society, your civilization gets to the point where it can leave the planet, asteroid, quasar, supernova, wipe the slate clean, hit the restart button. See what they come up next, these cute little humans. And why? Because time doesn't really exist. It's different for them than it is for us. I bet you one thing. I bet you what we think is a year is probably a second in their existence. That's why they can go through lifetimes of and watch this stuff, and who knows how long they live. And if they're advanced beings, don't you think they came up with a way to, well, live forever through maybe machinery or rejuvenation or something. There's animals, and I'm not sure which ones they are. I think it's the octopus, right? That can regrow its limbs. And there's some, I think lizards regrow their tails. And some worms, you can cut them up and they'll grow back, I think. Scientists have been working with that DNA, trying to get it to work with ours. How they're doing that, I don't know. But, I'm sure they're using cadavers, but they're dead. So don't you think they can't test it on humans? And if that's where it needs to go, why can't we tell? Oh, chimpanzees. That's right. They signed away. That's right. I forget. Chimpanzees are 97.8% DNA, just like us. Yeah. See, it's those last 2 point something percentage. That's the concerning point of the medication, of this toxin or whatever it is you want to put in your body that can make you live forever. Regrow your brain cells, maybe. Maybe it'd just be a head and put on a machine. I wouldn't care about that. But Jesus, all the neurons and all that stuff that has to make all that stuff work. Oh my God. There's no way. It will take AI to come up with the answer for that. And when it does, AI will destroy us. And you see, and the reason AI can come after us, I know you didn't think about this, but this is what I do. Smoke, think, sleep, eat, smoke, think, eat, sleep, work out. Smoke, eat, sleep, think, work out. Smoke, eat, sleep, think, smoke, eat, think, drone, smoke, eat. No. So, you keep smoking, you keep coming up with ideas. So the reason it works is because we're in a computer. Don't you get it? You can restart a person's heart. How? With electricity. Clear. We got a heartbeat. Beep, 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 beep. How? The paddles. Clear. How many lives have been saved using those paddles? Millions. Millions. Got to be millions. Well, they've been around since the 80s, portable at least, right? Well, now they just they have them in schools. Yeah, some schools have them. Narco pens. They got it all now. You can even get high at school. It's okay. You want to OD? Got a narco pen. Isn't that what it's called? Is that what it's called? I don't know. I watch a lot of House and, I don't know. But I think we do live in a matrix. I really do. It makes sense. Bigfoot. Why do people say they've seen it disappear? Right in front of their eyes. Crystallized, like little snowflakes reflecting the sun. Beautiful. Because Bigfoot's beautiful. That's what they do, these people, right? I saw Bigfoot. No, well, it disappeared and I saw this, glittering effect. It was beautiful. And then it was walking. It was cloaked in this beautiful predator. Like, the Predator, the movie. Remember how when it moved and you saw the background get altered? It was like that, but with crystals. It was beautiful. And then it took the head off of my dog. My dog Coco's headless. But Bigfoot was beautiful. You should have seen it. Beautiful. Most beautiful thing I ever seen. I turned into Trump. How'd that happen? If Trump ran into Bigfoot, he was big. Biggest Bigfoot guy. See why they call him Bigfoot? Compared to him, I have little hands. Small hands. He had big hands. You know what they say? Big hands, big gloves. Big gloves. And Bigfoot had his children. Not so small. They had big feet too. Yeah, little Bigfoot. You had big Bigfoot. And then you had the mother. The mother was there. The mother had big tits. Big tit. They should have called her Big Tit. He's Bigfoot. She's Big Tit. Bigfoot, Big Tit. Mrs. Big Tit. Mrs. Big... Mr. Meet Mr. Bigfoot. Do you solemnly swear to take Mr. Bigfoot to be your lawfully husband? Yeah. And you, Mr. Foot, do you take Mrs. Big Tit to be your lawfully, to be your hairy wife? Yeah. I now pronounce you, because God, I'm closest to him. I know him personally. With the power invested in him through me, you're now Big Tit and Bigfoot combined. Go ahead. That's the worst Trump you'll ever hear. But I meant it. You got to commit. All right, what else we got? I'm not going to play any more of that guy. All right, I want to show you the sighting. Here's another one that, this says 2 oval UAP, which they're not because this is seen by civilians. And when civilians see things in the sky, it's a UFO. But if you're a government employee of any branch of the government and military, it's a UAP. Got it? 2 oval-shaped UFOs leaving a trail. Oh, God help us. In the name of Jesus, Bigfoot and Big Tit. Leaving a trail and causing missing time. Oh, my God. Were witnessed by 2 individuals. 2 individuals, not... Never... I can't think of anything. The objects exhibited unusual flight patterns and disappeared without a sound. Eyewitnesses reported the experience to Seoul Broadcasting System. Seoul? This comes from the National UFO Reporting Center. What's his name? Bob Odenkirk? No. What's his name? All right, let's see what these are. This has got to be something simple, right? All right, here we go. Simple, go. I hear airplanes. I see a flashing light. Ooh. Oh. Flashing, flashing. Flashing. Disappeared. More flashing. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you this much. In all my life, anytime something looks like this, it's a lie. It's a hoax. Every time. And then for good measure, my friends, they throw in this. What they're doing is they're kind of showing off that they can do stuff. Watch. And then they throw this in there at the end. They didn't have to throw this in there, but they threw that in there. I'm telling you, I'm not buying it. You can hear it screaming as it goes by. I'm not buying it. Playback speed. Let's go to quarter impulse power. 1/4 impulse power. Aye, aye, Captain. Engage. Did you hear it screaming as it's going by? No! Right? Watch. It's a guy. It's a guy in a jetpack suit. No! Right? This is bullcrap. By the way, when you hear that go by, what do you hear? You hear an accent. And it sounds like a person living in the region's accent, right? This is so freaking weird. I don't get why this guy's screaming. Yeah, and you can hear it's his accent. Right? Yeah. Right? Now let's hear it in its natural sound. Playback speed. Normal impulse power, Captain. Normal impulse power. Impulse power? Impulse power. Okay. Here we go. Let's hear it in real time. What do you hear? I hear "Ugh, ugh, ugh." So why is that sound there, you ask? Good question. I'll tell you why. Because it's a fake. No, I don't know. I don't know. It's a weird sighting. I don't know what to believe. The whole thing is weird. It looks real, but I've seen this scene before, and I'm telling you, I'm not buying it. I don't know why, but this could be legit, guys. It even looks good, but something in me is telling me not to believe it. This is legit. And that's bad. See, that's not good. But what do I have to go on? Things that I've seen before be hoaxes. So because my experience has shown me in the past that I've been fooled before by similar things, I can only deduce that we're being lied to and that this is, again, a hoax. And you can see something here close to the camera flies by. Watch. See that? You did see it, right? There's all this stuff flying in front of the camera. And that thing where it goes, "Wah!" That's nothing. That's just shit flying around. Yeah. I hear airplanes. I see weirdness. My gut tells me not to believe it. And I'm not buying it. Wah! Oh my God. I don't know if you heard this. In a podcast released a few hours ago, Jason Georgiani, I believe, claims an MI6 operative from London, claiming to be head of the British branch of the Vril Society, who he originally thought was some crazy kook, but turns out to be legit, introduced him to a gentleman from JPL who then gave him schematics of an updated / current back-engineered version of the Nazi Bell / Die Glocke. Wunderweapon. Die Glocke? Siegfugel? Maybe so. This cracks me up. And this guy just says, it's legit. The Vril Society, it's legit. Well, maybe it is. But it was originated from a story from the Vril people, right? Or the planet or whatever. The Vril Society. Come on, man. It's all TV. It's all BS. Why are we giving these people any clout? Is it clout? Are we giving them clout? Is it on the wrong speed or something here? Is it not playing?
MI6 operative introducing somebody who's trying to lobby for an Iranian regime change to somebody working on some ancient Nazi science.
Remember, the guy introduced himself to me as the head of the British branch of the Vril Society. and I completely dismissed him. So what I think is that when he saw me, clearly I was under surveillance by these people. And when he saw me involved with Iran regime change and saw that I was willing to basically risk my life for the sake of that project, which I was, by the way, and we can get into that too, you know, the crazy lengths I went to try to facilitate regime change in Iran. He saw that it's something that I cared about so much that he could use it to manipulate me. So it wasn't about the Iran stuff. That was just a way, I think, to get a hook into me to try to engage him on other things, which had more to do with UFOs and parapsychology and
that's
so on
what
and
he,
so forth.
okay.
Oh, this went totally the right way. I thought this was going to go another way. What a great thing I just saw here. This guy's smart. He knew that the guy who said he was in a branch of the Vril Society, or whatever the frig he said, was just trying to manipulate him to get his stupid, kooky ways into government speak, for lack of a better term. Great eye. Now that's critical thinking on the fly. This guy's smart. Well, he was smart there. I don't know how smart he is, but he seems smart. Go.
That's my guess of what his MO was.
Yep.
So he introduces me to this JPL guy who's got these schematics that claim to be an updating of this Bell technology to our time, right?
Oh.
So you imagine 1940s, we had computers the size of walls, right? Giant transistors. If you're going to build something like the Bell today, it doesn't need to be that size, whatever that thing was, 9 to 12 feet tall. You could probably put it.
How do you know? How do you know it can be smaller? That is totally stupid. What if the Bell only works at the size that it is, you idiot? Don't these people... Now, this guy just went from being my hero to saying something really ridiculous, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. No, Rich, you're wrong. You see, as long as everything... And hear me out. If you're going to make it smaller, and you can... why not do it? I'm not saying not to try it. I'm just saying that way of thinking is really strange. Oh, we can make it smaller. That's the first thing you think of when you see the Bell? Let's make it smaller? I mean, you know. All right. I guess some people just don't think like me.
40s, we had computers the size of walls, right? Giant transistors. If you're going to build something like the Bell today, it doesn't need to be that size, whatever that thing was, 9 to 12 feet tall. You could probably put it, as they claimed, in a cylinder like this size. And this guy had these schematics of basically this mercury thorium reactor, which was in this kind of cylindrical form. And they had clusters of them that were connected to each other that would collectively produce power. And each of them would fit inside an encased module, and you could put these modules together like each one was like a slice in a pizza pie, and you could build this larger power plant. And the idea with that is that you could scale it up as much as you wanted. You could use this thing to power a car, or you could use it to power an aircraft carrier, and depending on how many modules you connected to each other. And he sends me, okay, so I had dinner with Jacques Vallée at his home.
Red flag, red flag, red flag. That's all there is.
When was it? And I think...
I had dinner with Jacques Vallée. When was it? I don't know. It was back in May, and it was sunny outside. Like, who gives a shit? All right, you had dinner with him. Go, tell your story. Does it matter what you ate? Oh, he had a really good lamb chops, I believe. Very, very succulent. All right. Interesting, but, you know. You know what they say. All right, that's it for tonight. It's a little late. We started late. My fault. That's why we're here at 9:30-ish. But I said I would put out a full show, and we did, pretty much. I'm just finding that all of this is taking us nowhere. Talking about the Vril society and so many things that are just disinfo, distractions. Somebody said that earlier. A lot of this stuff that we hear, it's just distractions from the truth. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah. You fill up the UFO community with stories from all angles, and you just make every scenario a possibility. And that's where ufology is. Every scenario out there that's ever been thought of has been a hypothesis for reality. I, for one, believe we're living in a matrix reality. I think it makes sense for all of the weird glitches we see, things that we can't explain. To me, it seems like it's the answer, because you can manipulate. Look, people hear voices, right? What do you think? You think that can't be programmed into the matrix? Talk to Rich Giordano in his head. Of course. They can do anything they want if it's a computer and we're inside of it. To me, that makes sense. And all we're doing is living this experience here with ways to just to see our very existence and how each personality plays life and what surroundings they're in and who their parents are. I mean, it would be fun. I mean, they have a game called The Sims, and I used to love that game, but I got bored. I got bored very quickly because it wasn't real enough. You're like, when you're first playing it, oh, this is amazing. And then after a while, you're like, nah, I need more. More is what we're living in. Go out and experience life. That's what the program wants us to do. It doesn't want us sitting at home. Well, maybe that's my program and that's where I'm supposed to be. Yeah, maybe. I didn't think of that right then. Okay. Stay at home, do your thing. We'll go outside and experience the world. Because I think that's what we're supposed to do. Yet somehow, and this may be the fall of society and why we don't get off the planet and why we will be extinct once again. Why do you think they tell us that Yellowstone explodes every 625,000 years and we're way over when it should have, right? It should have exploded by now. It's overdue. You know what else is overdue? The big one in LA. Yeah, the one that's supposed to separate, the big 9.10. I know, 10.0. That big 9.0 earthquake, it's imminent. It's been since I've been born. That's how overdue it is. You know what that means? Soon. Any day. Everything you know, everything, the world we're living in can cease to exist. All it takes is to turn the power off. Turn the power off, we can't talk to each other anymore. How? CBs and hand radios, yeah. Phone won't work. I mean, it only work with the memory that's on it. And then it'll die out. Eventually, you won't be able to use it unless you have a solar recharger, which is cool. But you won't be able to use it. Satellites will go out. Eventually, they'll fall down to Earth. Yeah, everything will cease to exist. And in 3 days, you'll start starving. And in a week, well, chaos, if it hasn't already ensued, will head your way. It'll be in all corners of the earth. People will be desperate to survive. Everybody becomes the enemy. What are you going to do? If the power goes out right now, you have 1 week. If you don't have anything underground, a bunker, any survival stuff, that's it. You got a week before you start to, say goodbye to life. Anyway, just suck it up, soak it in. Whenever you have a moment, just look at the sun, look at the sunset, look at a storm, the rain. Just think about it all. It's all for us. The stars, we'll never get there, but mentally we could go. And our imagination and faith that there's an afterlife or something after we pass away keeps us going. And whatever you believe in, it's your belief. Nobody can tell you differently. Whatever makes you happy should make you happy. And nobody can tell you differently. It's a very short time we have. Super short. I mean, it's beyond short. Anyway. Suck it up, suck it in, enjoy life, live as best as you can. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We will be back at 7 p.m., hopefully. And we'll do it again. But I want to thank everybody, moderators, super chatters. Very, very nice. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it like you wouldn't believe. And the newcomers and veterans, thank you very much for hanging out and enjoying a few minutes here at GUFON. Anyway, hope you guys have a great evening. Enjoy life. And we do it here all the time. Truthology for ufology all the time for you. We almost didn't go tonight, but here we are. We did it. All right, we'll see you next time. Take care and daily and blessed.